talking about texture. Texture is how something feels. It might feel smooth or rough or prickly or soft. And we are going to be making texture monsters today. So this is my texture monster. You can see that he has many different features, but he also looks like he has texture because of some special rubbing techniques that I used. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, for our texture monsters today, we're going to need to start with a black marker to draw our monster. And you're going to need to have a body, legs, arms, facial features. I'm going to draw two so you can see some different ideas, and you can choose to do yours in whichever way you like. Alright, now it looked like I was drawing mine pretty fast, but I was actually really taking my time. And the more time that you take to draw your monster, the nicer it's going to turn out. Our next step is going to be to take some crayons and to color in the small parts of our monster, but not the big huge part, because the big huge part is going to have a texture. So let's start by coloring in the small parts of our monster. Alright, now that we've got the small parts colored, we want to add some texture. One way to add texture is with your marker, and you can make it look like he's hairy. Maybe it looks like he has little spikes sticking out all around the outside of him, or even on his body. Another way to add texture is to use what we call a texture plate. A texture plate is something that you take and you put underneath your paper. And then when you rub on top of it, it will make a pattern because it has bumps on it. So I can actually feel the texture of this one. This one looks like bricks. And here's another one. If you don't have something like this, you can also just find something around your house that has texture. This is just some foamy that I had, but it has bumps on it. This is another piece of foamy. So you can use things like this, and what we're going to do is we're going to stick it under the body of our monster, right where we want to color. And we're going to find a crayon that doesn't have a wrapper on it. And we don't want it to be too big because then it will go off of our monster, and we want to color within the lines of our monster. We can color on top of our black a little bit. Then we're going to use the side of it. We're going to lie it down flat, not like this, but like flat, and we're going to rub to create that texture. You can see I went over it a couple times to make it even darker, and maybe I have to move my texture plate a little so I can get every bit of it. Once I've done my monster, if you want to, you could even use a texture plate behind your monster for the background. Just make sure to use a short crayon so that you don't go on top of your monster and you can see that it's separate with a separate color. Alright, great work. Now when we touch this paper, it feels smooth, but we've made them look like they have texture. Good work.